Hey there, Captain Canada here, or Joseph if you prefer. Welcome to another episode of WOK Talk. Um, Continuing on from last time, the Walk for Lost Loved Ones. It's dedicated to a lot of people. It's inspired by a lot of people, but I also want to dedicate everything that I do to the love of my life, Holly Brewster. I I can't explain to you, my audience, how much she means to me and how much she has helped me get through my struggles. She has seen me at my best and she has seen me at my worst. And she's a very important person. I just want that to be made very clear. I I don't know if you're watching this, but if you are, I love you. That does go to everybody, but that goes to you, my love. Now, let's get on with these squats. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alrighty. We've uh, we've done quite a lot of preparation leading up until now, but it hasn't been enough because I picked up a pallet this weekend, and I over Saturday and Sunday I carried a collective of just short of 9 kilometers. That's about 5.5 miles. About 10% of what my future project is supposed to be. Why I'm doing all this is to prepare to carry a pallet 50 miles to raise awareness for suicide prevention. In case you didn't already know that, that is kind of the whole point of Walk Talk. But doesn't mean Walk Talk will end on May 11th. After the walk, we'll still have lots to talk about, and the walk will continue, and I will continue doing the shield squats, but they are at this time in preparation for carrying the pallet 50 miles. And I forgot how much I enjoyed carrying the pallet. It's just a great exercise. You got to be careful of slivers. You got to be mindful of your balance and the wind and your surroundings. You know, you don't want to knock people out with your pallet when you're turning a corner with it or something. You know, pay attention. But my shoulder got kind of sore where the wood pressed up against it, where the pallet rests on my shoulder. And so I think I might cheat a little bit and add some padding because on my last time I carried the pallet the 50 miles, I did have a scarf that I wrapped around the pallet to kind of ease up the hardness of the wood there. Alrighty, it's enough delay because we're still on our special episodes where we are reacting to Super Sweet Shirt and Super Sweet Shirt Co's reaction. We're reacting to Super Sweet Shirt Co's reaction to Phoenix Jones, or at least the Phoenix Jones documentary that's very popular on YouTube. I think I don't want to name it. I'll name it at the very end when we get to the final episode. But for now, I just want to give credit to the reactor and feel free to watch his original video and feel free to watch the original video that he's reacting to. And like I say, on the last part of this, I will find the name of the original video creator so you know who that is. But for now, we're just going to react to this reaction. We got to exactly the same time code where we were last time. And so now we'll just make sure the volume's cranked up, and we'll listen to some more and give a little bit of my reaction on his reaction, and a little bit of my reaction to the video itself. Now I'll shut up.
Nicole was not believed to be the intended target.
Okay, I'll shut up in a second. Basically, this is in the middle or explaining a little bit of what happened to Phoenix Jones after the Nicole Westbrook shooting. This was kind of a very big transformative event in the Phoenix Jones story. Let's listen a little bit more.
The source of the gunfire was determined to have been a drive-by shooting, leading police to believe the hooded figure the heroes were chasing was the target. The case of Nicole Westbrook remains open to this day, and anyone with potential information is encouraged to contact the Seattle Police Department. Jones would go on to cite the tragedy as his biggest failure.
And she's up the street and the medics are taking her away. The fire engine drives by and just washes the blood off the sidewalk, and it runs down into a drain. And I just keep sitting on the sidewalk at this point, and people start walking by for work and just do their normal everyday life. Yeah.
He became Phoenix Jones, or at least he has said at one point in time he became Phoenix Jones to not be helpless. And very sad to say, I think in this instance he did. He did in fact feel helpless, like there was nothing he could have done, or at least what had to be done in the instant wasn't done, and nobody was helped, and somebody died, and it's a very traumatic thing. It doesn't say anything bad about Phoenix Jones that this affected him as much as it did. It just means that the gravity of life has landed on his shoulders like it lands on everyone else. The gravity of death landed on his shoulders like it does everyone else, and it hits pretty hard sometimes.
My world has completely changed, and everyone else is exactly the same.
This event would continue.
And that's just it. When you're going through a trauma, you might think that you are the only person who understands that pain. And to some degree, your trauma is your own. It is a specific thing unique to you, but we are all in this together. Many of those people that he thinks whose lives hadn't changed were maybe altered or changed by events before that event or after that event. And it's easy to be dismissive of other people when we ourselves are hurting, because it's a perspective issue.
To ripple throughout Jones's crime-fighting career, especially in his later years. But directly following the tragedy, there was scarcely time to process. Just a week later, Seattle was to host the May Day protest.
May-Day mayhem in Seattle. Demonstrations turned violent as thousands of people clogged downtown streets.
Originally in response to poor labor conditions, the May Day protests began in Europe during the late 19th century and persist even today all across the world. Always held on May 1st, these events occasionally escalate in violent and unpredictable ways.
Broken glass, buildings and cars covered with spray paint. Tonight, downtown Seattle.
Phoenix Jones, along with Midnight Jack and El Caballero, were patrolling the protest, attempting to deter and control outbursts, when a protester inadvertently revealed a plan to blow up the Seattle courthouse.
The crowd was actually rumoring a bomb blowing up a building?
Yeah, that's what the people with the black masks were rumoring, because they're kind of dumb. And I don't know if they haven't been to Seattle, but they didn't know that I'm not part of their crew. So they just kept telling me stuff.
So you were infiltrating them? They thought because you were...
We were just walking and they were wearing masks and we were.
Right, but because you are dressed up as a superhero, they thought this guy must be into craziness like us.
Exactly.
Perfect.
Phoenix and his colleagues attempted to notify the police, but they didn't seem to take the testimonials seriously.
It's one of those things. I consider this to be a very inspirational story when I originally heard it, because the fact that he was working against a plot to like blow up a building. But as time has gone on, I'm worried about the authenticity of this story and maybe some other Phoenix Jones stories. I'm not saying that everything he's ever done is untrue or ever said is untrue, but it is kind of hard to believe. Um, that doesn't mean it didn't happen. Just because I'm not convinced, that doesn't mean that it didn't happen. And it doesn't mean I wasn't inspired by the story with the idea that he was just one of the freaks. And so other people who thought freaks of nature were all in this together, and we're all a team because you look like you're a little bit into anarchy because you're wearing a costume. The idea that you could just slip into that position, I think that idea really stuck with me. But because it's cool, it's like real superhero shit, and it's very possible it did happen. People do plan, but the thing is, people also exaggerate their plans too. They also go, "Yeah, I want to blow that fucker up." That doesn't mean they had the capability to blow anything up. It just means he said that, and yeah. So I will say I'm glad Phoenix Jones was taking things seriously, but at the same time, um, I would like to see there be actual heroes who are actually helping the protesters instead of just pretending to be helping the protesters. But when people are committing crimes, that's kind of another thing where maybe you would be there helping them, but then maybe you have to kind of change what you're doing because somebody's planning on blowing something up, and so you kind of got to change modes a little bit there. And but you should still be out to help people. But there's obviously, like, you're not going to help them blow something up. That would be fucking ridiculous. You want to stop bad things from happening. There's nothing wrong with trying to stop a bad thing from happening. And I believe there was a smoke bomb that got thrown at this building. The smoke bomb kind of bounced off a window and like kind of exploded into a fireball because they missed what they were aiming at. I think they were trying to get it in the window. And maybe that was actually what they were referring to. Let's listen some more. I'll shut up now.
You hear rumblings of this, and you let the Seattle police know. Tell me how that conversation went.
Well, it wasn't really a conversation. I said, "Excuse me, sir, can I talk to you?" And he said, "We're busy." And I said, "I'm a mobile, can I talk to you?" He said, "Yeah, give me a few minutes. Here's my card."
Oh,
and then that was it.
Here's my card? Police officer gave you his card?
Fearing an escalation, they followed the crowd of protesters to the courthouse, and it was there they witnessed rocks and something which was believed to be a failed explosive device being thrown through the glass windows and doors. Knowing Phoenix would be apprehensive to use pepper spray following his assault charge, Midnight Jack opted to be the one to incapacitate the group. When the police arrived, they arrested 8 of the protesters for destruction of public property. The group received their share of
From what I understand, Midnight Jack sprayed a lot of people that day. A lot of people.
disapproving opinions. Gawker reporter Adrian Chin described Phoenix as a combination of Batman and a mall cop. But one of the more entertaining opposers of the Rain City Heroes was a filmmaker named Ryan Corey, who decided the thing the group was truly missing was a villain.
My name is Rex Velvet, the people's villain, if you will. Woo! Before you jump to conclusions, let me tell you that I'm a fair negotiator and businessman. But I will not back down from you, Jones, until this city is rid of you.
I think super serious real life superheroes all need someone to make fun of them. I think goofy real life superheroes need someone to make fun of them. I think it's just perfect, like we live in a society. Let's do something about it. Stand out there and say there's something wrong with the people being ridiculous symbols, and be a ridiculous symbol yourself in comparison, and be kind of a hypocrite, like, because I don't know. The thing is, Rex Velvet has done charity work, and I believe he did a Make-A-Wish for a kid where he helped the kid go on an adventure being a real life secret agent, and it was great. He was a villain to a real little hero, and that's why I really respect real life super villains, because usually they're just pretty good guys that just have a different slant on what they want to speak out about, and a lot of the times they want to speak out against the real life superheroes, and a lot of real life superheroes want to speak out against real life superheroes. So I really don't see a problem. There's a lot of amazing people out there. Let's hear some more about Rex Velvet.
His attempts to bait Phoenix.
This is real.
Yeah.
I almost wish that like there's some people who are probably younger that didn't get to experience this, but this is real. This happened. All of this.
Into a campy online rivalry failed, but Ryan Corey stylizing himself as the villain Rex Velvet continued, calling into radio.
I love your reaction. It just fills me with so much joy. It's real. It's real.
Shows while in character and managed to turn their fake rivalry into a moderately successful web series.
Phoenix Jones, you have met your match.
Other supervillains joined in. Parody characters which targeted Jones began cropping up across YouTube and other social media.
Mr. Grimm, yeah.
Yo, Phoenix, I've been creating something now. Huh? I got a new potion that's gonna turn the whole world against you.
But Ryan
Wasn't it so much better back then? You know, now you can't turn on your phone or on YouTube or anything, or you're constantly hearing about politics, Democrats, Republicans, all this stuff. The entire news cycle is about separating people and making people hate each other. What if it was this? This is awesome. Like I would tune into the news every day to hear what these guys were doing and updates on this. And this was happening.
Corey and others would have to settle for a one-sided online.
What we really need is a real life Jonah Jameson. It doesn't matter if they love real life superheroes or think they're menaces to society. As long as somebody's talking about us, man. Like, the people see you, the people recognize you, but it's like the media doesn't give a shit. I missed an opportunity for an interview many years ago, and that was the only chance I ever had to do any media. And I think it was for a newspaper, or was it like an online vlog thing? I don't even remember. They wouldn't respond to me. They, like, even though I was late to I didn't see it in my message box. They didn't respond to me when I said I would talk to them. They just like, yeah, whatever, you were late, so like I'll like fuck you. It's like that pisses me off, but whatever. Maybe I'll get another chance.
Feud. Jones simply took himself too seriously to engage with them.
Rex Velvet is on the other line.
Rex Velvet is on the other line.
The guy who made that promo that you heard.
I encourage, if you guys want to talk to him, you go right ahead. I don't have anything to say to him because I live in the real world, and I don't promote or accept or even acknowledge people who want to do accessibility of any kind, even if it's not real.
I told you.
Look at you, Phoenix Jones.
I live in the real world, but I don't accept people that do acts of villainy. There's such a juxtaposition right there where it's like you're trying to be real, but then you're being like the most unreal motherfucker in the world. I think this is one of the other mistakes of Phoenix Jones is he should have engaged with Rex Velvet. It would have helped soften his image, and at the same time, he can acknowledge other people in other positions and not be such an uptight asshole about the whole villains thing. Like, I remember him going on a rant about, like, oh, they like shirts and toys with, like, Two-Face on it. And, like, that's wrong. You're teaching kids to like, emulate criminals. And it's like, well, they're comic book characters. They have always advertised both kinds of comic book characters. Like, you're actually railing against the comic book industry at that point, because having sympathetic villains makes a better story. Well, it can make it. Sometimes it's annoying. Sometimes you just want a bad guy to hate, and you hate when they give him sympathy because it's like, oh, now he's not going to get his just desserts because this guy has a fucking sympathetic backstory. I mean that in fiction. In real life, I want people to get helped. I don't like the idea of vengeance or harsh punishment on people. All right, I've run out of time. Thank you for watching. I love you. Suicide is never the answer. Peace out.